Welcome back. We fill our Inside Politics table each week with reporters, not pundits, and we close by asking them to share a bit of reporting to help you get out ahead of some big political news just around the corner. Mary Catherine?
Well, there's a Kennedy in the Senate again. It's the age of Trump, so I don't want this big news getting lost under some tweets today. In the state of Louisiana, Republican State Treasurer John Kennedy won his runoff against his Democratic challenger, who got no help from national Democrats, to become the 52nd Republican in the Senate. And I just think it's emblematic of how far we've come from the conventional wisdom, which was the Democrats had this coalition of the ascendant. Even in southern states, they were going to make these big inroads. And in case Democrats ever wondered whether 2016 is truly trolling them, a Republican John Kennedy in the Senate.
Yes, the Kennedys of Massachusetts probably don't love that much. Matt?
We've talked a lot about the incoming Secretary of State. There's also an outgoing one. John Kerry is about to conclude more than 3 decades in public life as a senator, as a presidential candidate, and as Secretary of State. And it's starting to set in, the reality of that. He's got a few trips still scheduled. He's already the most traveled Secretary of State in history, the equivalent of 123 straight days on an airplane over his 4 years. Now he's about to hand over the reins potentially to Rex Tillerson, which is going to require a lot of diplomacy in that handoff. Much of what Kerry has worked for, his accomplishments include the Iran deal, the Paris climate deal, are potentially going to be dismantled. So Kerry will work from the outside, still on climate change is a big passion of his, but for the first time since 1983, outside of public office.
Long ago when I worked in Boston, he was the lieutenant governor. It's been a long ride for John Kerry. Manu?
John, Democrats' strategy with Donald Trump amounts to this: divide and conquer. What they're trying to do is to latch on to Donald Trump's more popular and populist economic proposals that actually divide Republicans, like his 35% tariff on companies that ship operations overseas, or renegotiating and potentially pulling out of NAFTA. The idea, of course, is try to attract some of those white working-class voters who they struggled with in the elections, but also it raises some concerns among Democrats who believe that the rush to normalize Donald Trump, in their words, will make it harder for them to paint him as an extreme president. But right now, watch for them to start to talk about those economic issues, particularly for those senators in difficult races in 2018.
40 days to figure out their strategy. Jennifer?
One person who has amassed some real power in the Trump transition is a woman who homeschools her 4 children and co-owns a bakery in Manhattan. Rebecca Mercer is the 43-year-old daughter of a billionaire GOP donor, and I'm told her talent is for bringing in talent. So she has her fingerprints on everything from the search for Secretary of State to the press secretary to the new GOP chairman. And what's interesting about her is her family has pushed for years this agenda, this anti-establishment populist agenda, and now she is one of the main influencers for the Trump cabinet.
Shake up the Trump cabinet. Not a bad thing to have some new faces here in town. I'll close with this. Donald Trump was one of 17 candidates, you might remember, who sought the Republican nomination for president. So far, only one of the other 16 has been tapped for a cabinet job. Ben Carson is the choice to lead the Department of Housing and Urban Development. But there could soon be a second. During the primaries, the former Texas Governor Rick Perry called Trump a cancer on conservatism, but they later made peace. And a well-sourced Republican says keep an eye on Perry as Trump rounds out his picks in the days ahead. We certainly will. That's it for Inside Politics. Again, thanks for sharing your Sunday morning.